down here, but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a group. The second position looks for his first race. Then hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. Gonna have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Bear's big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight for the BTDY Throwback 212 from Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 mile Super Speedway, one of the longest that we're going to experience here on the circuit, the longest oval that NASCAR goes to. Going to be a fun one here tonight, this Super Speedway style racing in the next gen machines. Alec up here in the booth with me. How are you feeling about this race?
I've been this excited for a race in a while here that we've called. All the other races have been amazing. But coming here to Talladega, we know the unpredictability that this track possesses. And we also know that this is the second to last race before the chase starts. But I'm telling you, a lot of different strategies going on. The regular season championship on the line for AJ Stravato and Zach Carr as well, but then guys fighting to get into the playoffs. Jeremiah Vincent, Ben Bafford, last week's winner at Martinsville, who got his first win last week in getting a virtual grandfather clock. And again, we've been talking about who can beat the big three. We saw last week that the big three is beatable. We come into this week where we know anybody can win this race this weekend, or into this race. So it is going to be insane. Looking at practice, the runs are going to be crazy, just like they were in Daytona. And pushing is a big thing. We saw with Brad Keselowski in the 500 this year, him being a little too aggressive and maybe and turning some people. And we know for sure, especially with Talladega and these super speedways, the big one. How many cars? There's 32, 33 cars in this field tonight. How big will that wreck be? And if so, how many cars will it take out? And how many cars will be left at the end of 80 laps here tonight?
Yeah, that is the question. This place is always about survival, and 80 laps the distance tonight, just over 212 miles. And you're taking a look at the point standings up there on the screen. The top 4 all are locked in by nature of their performance so far in the regular season. Tonight's race and then next week at Michigan are the final 2 in the regular season to make it into the top 12 in the standings. You can see 18th on back, starting with Alan Dice. Those guys are out of it. They cannot make it into the chase. Everybody else, including Ben Bafford, last week's winner, if he has 2 perfect races, it is theoretically possible for him to make it in, but we'll see how things shake up here tonight. Some of those drivers above that cut line could find themselves in danger of falling out. Everybody who's up in there right now in that top 12.
Saying, looking at the points graphic, we see 4 drivers locked in: AJ Stravato, Zach Carr, Seth Hatchell, and Angelo Ronas. The 3 Stravato, Carr, Hatchell, the big 3. They've won every race but one, which was last week at Martinsville. Then Angelo Ronas, who's been consistent this entire year, had 2 wins slip through his hands on the final restart and the final laps of last week at Martinsville, and then on the last lap, last turn at Auto Club Speedway. But looking at guys like Gimmel just needs to finish the race, but everybody from 6th on down, all the way to 17th where Ben Bafford is, nobody is safe. One race is all it takes, and if any race where it can go bad, this is the track. You never know what's going to happen here. Mayato, Hutton, Faircloth, Ortega, Simard, Sullivan, and Vincent, all guys that are above the cut line, they are hoping that they can get out of this place with a good top 10 finish and a clean race car trust me, going into the longest race of the year next week, you don't want to have any extra worry other than finishing that race next week at Michigan without having any worry of points. But with guys like Jeremiah Vincent, Dallas Sullivan, Kenny Bishop, they need to make sure that they can either win or beat whoever that, or they need to beat each other pretty much. They need to finish ahead of everybody, gain points. It's going to come down to who can make the chase, and it's going to come down to the wire at Michigan next week.
Yeah, and that is going to be our longest race of the season. That's the marathon race, so that's going to be a challenge in and of itself. We saw incredible racing at Auto Club. It's a sister track of Michigan, and really looking forward to that one. As drivers on the racetrack right now, we do have a throwback paint scheme night going on. You can vote for your favorite at the link that we posted in the video description as well as in the chat just a few moments ago. You can vote for up to 3 paint schemes, but you'll see drivers sporting throwbacks to the early 2000s. Robert Gilmore in the Robbie Gordon singular wireless pseudo paint scheme right here with Simulators Anonymous. Nice looking machine. And it's Faircloth, the Bobby Labonte interstate style paint scheme. Really nice.
Iconic paint scheme. And then Jeremiah, very familiar paint scheme to a lot of NASCAR fans. The old Dale Jr. Budweiser throwback. That one looks good. And then speaking of another Dale Jr. throwback, Cody Atkins has got the Taco Bell. That was the Xfinity 81 car that Dale Jr. and I believe Martin Truex Jr. drove back in 2004, 2005. Yeah, a lot of good paint schemes. I think who's that? Nick Starling's got a good VSPEED throwback. That's a good one.
The Casey Atwood Sirius XM style throwback, so a nice looking one there on the 7. Kenny Bishop with the Valvoline throwback. Jeremy Stanley also another Valvoline. That was kind of the
Mark Martin.
Yeah, the one-off I think he ran, or maybe for a couple races that one season. But Joshua Abbey as well. He's got the X-Side number 99 Shenandoah Shine throwback. Really nice take
Jeff
on
Burton.
that one. Yeah, Jeff Burton.
I don't know if we saw Cosman scheme. I was talking to him about it about an hour ago before this session opened. He's got a throwback to, I think they just announced like yesterday, Matt Kenseth, who's going to be a nominee for the Hall of Fame ballot in 2023. That is Matt Kenseth's throwback to his first ever Cup start.
Yeah, the Big Mac machine. Nice. Kind of a crazy looking scheme. I think technically it's not a 2000s
right?
paint, but you know, we'll give him a pass on this one. Yeah. And also I know Chris Samard with the Budweiser style. Here we go, trying to find it here.
Look at that top 5 in the order. Eric Lambert is going to be on the pole.
Wow,
Robert
how about that?
Gilmore second by 100 thousandths of a second. Will finish second. And then Kevin McGarvey third, Dennis Faircloth fourth, and Kyle McGarvey in 5th.
Yeah, the top 5 made up by Simulators Anonymous really showing up tonight. Eric Lambert, Dennis Faircloth, both in contention to make it into the playoffs. Eric has had his best season to date here in the below the Double Yellow Cup Series and finds himself, I believe it's 15th or 16th in the standings coming into tonight's race. Still technically possible for him to advance, but he's going to have basically a win here tonight and some misfortune from those top 12 as we do see Zach Smith and a handful of others still putting in their lap time. We'll be right back after the drivers' meeting and a quick commercial break.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying, to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every third Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back at the racetrack now. The last few seconds here in qualifying wrapping up. It's looking like Eric Lambert's going to get his first career pole here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, followed by a train of Simulators Anonymous machines. I know that's going to be popular down there in the chat. Make sure you cheer on your favorite drivers here tonight. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. We'll follow along with them throughout the race this evening. But how about Eric Lambert taking the top spot in the Jeremy Mayfield Throwback? The Toyota dealers all over that race car as we go to our starting lineup here tonight from Talladega for the BTDY Throwback 212. Rolling off from the front row, it will be Eric Lambert with a 53.661, just edging out his teammate Robert Gilmore, who will start alongside on the front row. Good job there for Robert, 1/1000th off. He'll start in second position this evening. Kevin McGarvey will roll off from third position. Dennis Faircloth with the exact same time. He'll start from fourth position. And Kyle McGarvey, he'll roll off from the fifth position here tonight. Seth Noel making his debut in the league, going to roll off from sixth. Cosman going to be starting in the seventh position. Chris Samard starts from eighth. Ninth tonight will be Jeremiah Vincent, and Keith Mayato going to round out the top 10 on the grid.
Ryan Gimmel will be rolling off 11th. Cody Atkins will be rolling off 12th in that beautiful Taco Bell Chevrolet Camaro. Eric Hunt will be off in 13th. Jeremy Stanley in that Mark Martin Valvoline Throwback in 14th. Luke Knupp 15th. Seth Hatchell, one of those big three drivers, will be rolling off 16th. Josiah Vincent will be rolling off 17th. Nick Starling will be rolling off 18th. Joshua Abbey rolling off 19th. And Timmy Emanuele will be running out the top 20.
21st is Alan Dice, 22nd Dennis Steele, 23rd Kenny Bishop, 24th Dallas Sullivan, 25th Bradley Wilson, 26th TJ Brendel, 27th Zach Smith, AJ Stravato, the points leader. He'll start from 28th here tonight. Zach Carr, 29th, and Ben Bafford, last week's winner, starts from 30th. 31st is Reggie Ortega, 32nd Angelo Ronas, and 33rd is Jordan Shepler. So the LDR machine starting towards the back here tonight. That'll be an interesting situation. We'll see if they decide to hang back there.
Yeah, a little team strategy, but how about Simulators Anonymous bringing out top 5, bringing some horsepower to the track? I was thinking maybe before we get going, long pace lap, maybe bring Eric Lambert, your pole sitter, in for a little bit of an interview.
Yeah, I know he may be a little bit worried if we do that, but let's we can get him in here.
We
I
might.
know I think he believes in the commentator.
Should we or should we not? I don't know.
You know what? Give him a quick shout. Yeah, pull him up in
Let's
here.
get him.
Yeah.
Eric Lambert, before we get going, Alex Martinez, Adam Baker in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah. There's no shot. I'm sitting here. There's none.
There is a shot because you are on the pole for tonight's race, man. First pole in the league. How are you feeling? Do you think you could stay up front and maybe keep this position?
I'm hoping one of these simulators, anonymous top 5 cars, goes ahead and wins this race tonight. Be nice for the 19 though. Hey, boost me towards that playoff line.
Heck yeah, man. Well, like we said, man, good luck. Hopefully we didn't commentator curse you out here. I know Adam was just telling me that is, I think you believe in that. So, but congratulations on the pole, man, and good luck in the race.
Thank you. Y'all have a great broadcast, and go Simulators Anonymous.
Heck yeah, man, for sure. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, before we get going, picks. That was a hard one to pick, but what are we thinking?
Let's see here. No, I think Chris Samard. I've picked Chris before,
Mr. Mard?
but I think he can get his first career win here tonight at Talladega.
You know, that's a good pick. Looking at the field here, I think it's his time to shine. I know he runs good here on these super speedways, and he's a part-time driver, but I think he's due for a win. He ran good at Auto Club. He almost won at Daytona. I think Bradley Wilson is going to bring her home a winner tonight.
Bradley Wilson, the 98 machine. See if he can do it. Yeah, that's a good pick. I think he's definitely got a shot at it here. A couple other drivers, Eric Hutton. You know, he's very good at these tracks, and a few more out here. Nick Starling also has won a couple times on these super speedways. But we're going green from Talladega in the VTDY Throwback 212, race 11 here. His 20 race season. We'll see who can bring it home tonight.
As we can see already, Dennis Fairclough getting a good shove from the 29 of Seth Noel, and look at that, almost able to shove him out to the lead, and he does go to the lead. He'll clear himself down in front of the 19, and now Noel and Samard will be the 2 top Chevys on the outside lane.
Yeah, it is important to note that Eric Lambert did get a bonus point for getting that pole. We were talking about mentioning that, and we did not, but that is very important for a driver who's just still barely eligible to make it in to the chase. He did get that valuable point. He would like to lead some laps here, though, too. That'll help him out as well. His teammate, Robert Gilmore, did get an EOL, I believe, and he went to the back of the field. But look at this battle for the race lead coming to the line here. Dennis Fairclough's going to lead lap 1.
About that, Fairclough's going to lead lap 1. And then into turn 1, 2 cars stacked up on each other, 2 wide, about 15 rows deep, and battling for the lead. The 29, Seth Noel, got a push from the 37, that Dale Jr. 2004 throwback. He's going to push that 29 to the lead. He's going to hold the outside lane. Behind them, Eric Hutton's going to duck out of line, and they're going to race side by side into 3.
Yeah, we've got, that is Hutton down there on the apron, going to let everybody on by and get back in line, but he is maybe in danger of losing the draft, but a couple cars farther back there, Robert Gilmore and Nick Starling hanging all by themselves at the back end of that pack. And now the top 2 up on that high side have gotten out clear of the inside lane. Mayato behind his teammate, Chris Samard, pushing Seth Noel, who it's interesting to have 2 Seths in the league tonight. We haven't had 2 different ones, 2 Seths at least. We've had a lot of other names where there's multiple of them, but yeah, looking pretty good and clean so far. Cosman almost looking to take it 3 wide. He is going to go 3 wide between, that is Josiah Vincent and also, I believe, McGarvey down there in the Terry Labonte throwback, and Cosman, he'll get down in front of the 42.
Yeah, Cosman's slicing and dicing here. I think everybody's trying to play it safe here, get up to that top, but you can see it's like Josiah Vincent's going to get held up, and I believe he's going to get held up. No, the 99 of Abbey is going to let him back in and slot in line here, but you can see these guys, looks like the top lane's got some more momentum. You can see the number of cars building up on the outside, but that bottom's still holding strong. They're not trying to pinch him, side draft him any bit. And I was talking to a few guys before this race. You do not want to run them tight. You want to kind of give yourself a gap like you see Seth Noel's doing, where he's running just enough to where there's no side rep, but as he comes down off the corner, it'll boggle these guys up, slow them down a little bit. Remember, the two cars, if they stall each other out, the runs that could be generated from behind are massive.
Yeah, as they are keeping a nice car width between them. Seth Noel leading that top side. Dennis Faircloth still out in front of the inside lane. Big push from his teammate Eric Lambert. He'll get shoved out to the point here, headed into turn number 3. And a nice run right there, but he's going to stick with his teammate. He's not going to try and move up and block that lane. Almost looked like he might, but here comes Noel back to the outside.
I think it's way too early to see these guys block lanes. And remember, no stages, no need to fight for any stage points. I know if we had stages, I remember having stages last year at all the super speedways. There was a caution right before them when guys getting anxious for positions and trying to get points. But this year, no stages. But I think again we got to look with these guys pushing in front, especially with Lambert right on the 80 car. You don't want to get hot. These cars, no matter, even though there's no grill tape, you can still get hot. And you don't want to blow your engine this early into the race. Be easy with the pushes. As we get later into the race, the pushes will get aggressive. The blocks will start happening. But right now, it's, like you said, a 212-mile race. It's a long way to go. And these guys just trying to survive right now.
Joshua Abbey came up, on that outside lane there, just shot out of a cannon, went past his teammate Luke Knupp, who Luke is actually in an old Sharpie Rubbermaid throwback with the
Bush paint scheme.
Yeah, very cool. I did not see that one submitted for
Nice.
the contest, but looks like an awesome paint scheme done there, and another great job by the Shenandoah Shine drivers to get a couple great theme paints here. As the 29 of Seth Noel, the Nexus Esports machine out in front, 2 VSPEED machines behind him, and then Cody Adkins right there as well. You've got Jeremy Stanley. Joshua Abbey is a driver that we look for in these super speedways. He's run well. He's won at Daytona a few seasons back. So keep an eye on him to be up here in the mix.
I think the entire Shenandoah Shine team is a team you want to. All those guys you're going to want to keep an eye on. They all run up at the front. They always find a way to find each other. Kind of like colleague racing, and in the Xfinity Series, they find a way to get to each other, work together, and get themselves to the front. As you can see, the third groove is starting to form. I believe that's Dallas Sullivan push from Cosman, and then he's got the other Valvoline car. I believe that's Kenny Bishop in the 4 right behind Cosman. The third lane starting to form in that middle, but you don't want to stall out like they are right now. You don't want to have a 5-car breakaway if these guys are going to continue to run 3 wide.
Yeah, definitely stalled out a little bit right there as we're trying to figure it out. Looks like back to 2 wide. Cosman's still stuck in the middle, though, in the sucker hole, as they call it. And he is not going the right direction at the moment, as there goes Joshua Abbey back to his inside. Bradley Wilson as well. Let's see if there's some other drivers hanging towards the back. Ryan Gimmel, a driver to watch for at these super speedways. He's back here in 21st behind his teammate Seth Hatchell. You've got Timmy Emanuele, Alan Dice in the Got Milk throwback. Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte.
Yep, and then is that Ben Baffert in the Mobile One machine?
Yeah, it's the Jeremy Mayfield throwback. That's always a cool throwback. Obviously famous to Dale Earnhardt fans after the 2000 Pocono race. I'm sure have some vivid memories of the old bumping around at Pocono. But up at the front, looking at Luke Knupp, and you can see these guys slicing and dicing. Vincent's going to let these guys go. He's going to get on the apron, let the 34 of TJ Brindle go. But it looks like inside the top 10 is where the aggressive racing is. Other than that, Dennis Faircloth and everybody behind Faircloth kind of staying on the bottom, and now maybe going up on the top now. Josiah Vincent on the bottom, hung out to dry, really. But now he jumps up to the top. But these guys maybe trying to save some fuel, conserve some fuel, and maybe, obviously, the fuel tanks are not as big as they are in official races. So curious to see what these guys are doing and what they're thinking. But up at the front, the guys really racing aggressive, and I'm assuming these guys are going to try to want to calm it down a little bit because we're going to have pit stops in about 20 or so laps. Nope. Almost into Cosman.
Yeah, and I was going to say right before that happened that fuel mileage racing is risky at these super speedways. Alec, I think, I've seen you you try something before, and it did not quite work out as expected.
Did not.
But, back in VRL. But this tonight, I think they're going to be right on the cusp of a single stop. I think it's probably going to be a 2-stop race, unless we get a timely yellow flag, and then they may be able to stretch it just 1 stop from from the
Osman
yellow. Yeah, look at Cosman to the inside
down
here.
to the bottom, and I think he's going to lead the lap. And yeah, he's going to lead that lap. Looks like Noel. I think Noel saw the run and was going to try to block it, but it was way too far out. As Cosman's got to push from Joshua Abbey, and look at those Shenandoah Shine boys up on the bottom with Wilson, Abbey, and then Luke Knupp in that 97 car. They're pushing down to the bottom, but behind them, the packs have separated. They're 3 wide behind this lead pack with Baffert, Stravato, and I believe that is Timmy Emanuele kind of leading the charge, trying to get single file out here. If they can get single file, they can run these guys back down.
They do get single file. Baffert in front of Stravato. Timmy Emanuele, the Jeff Gordon Pepsi Star Wars throwback.
You got one here, actually.
Yeah, I believe so. That's a cool looking car. Very iconic. Angelo Ronis sporting a new paint scheme. Not a throwback, but the Bernie Breakdown machine. Zach Carr, who painted that machine right there behind him. We do have his updated paint scheme on the car tonight, so good to see that. Reggie Ortega, Josiah Vincent, Zach Smith, Alan Dice, Seth Hatchell, and Ryan Gimmel back here outside the top 20. A lot of these guys just trying to hang out and not quite go time yet, but got to be careful not to lose too much time here early on.
Lead pack running side by side. Looking at Ben Baffert at the line there, he was about 2 seconds, or 2.5 seconds at the start-finish line that last time, but now he's starting to slowly close the gap. He's got it down to about 2.3, gained about 2/10 this last lap. I'm curious to see, with these guys running side by side, how long it'll take for them to get there.
I think it's going to take at least a handful of laps, maybe 5 laps or so. I think they do look pretty organized right now and headed in the right direction that time by. Actually slower, or actually no, 3/10 faster than the race leader. I was looking at best lap time. 3/10 faster than the race leader. Joshua Abbey, who's fighting down there in the inside lane. Cosman up there on the top side. Those guys battling for leading some laps here, and nice and clean right now, but definitely battling hard in the top 15.
Yeah. And those top 2 up on the outside with Cosman and Seth. Those guys are teammates. They're on the Nexus Esports team in an iRacing standpoint. But on the bottom, another team, Shenandoah Shine. As you can see, Cosman's starting to kind of pull back that 97. Noel's going to get down to the quarter panel, side draft him, and pull him back a little bit. Now Wilson and I believe that's Abbey are going to get out a little bit farther than they probably want to. But Samard's going to ditch Cosman and the 29 of Noel, and that's going to get some momentum back on the bottom. But here comes Cody Atkins and then the 60 of Jeremy Stanley to close up to them.
Yeah, we've seen that these cars can pretty much tandem draft, right? And I think that's going to be a big factor. I've seen a couple instances where we've got, maybe 4-car teams that are split into groups of 2. Samard and Mayato, and then Gimmel and Hatchell farther back, the VSPEED drivers, but also even these Shenandoah Shine machines. Got a couple of them, tag teaming right now at the front of the field, and then the Nexus Esports machines up there on the top side. So it might just take 2 cars to get it done here tonight, but it is sure helpful to have more than that. Look at Cosman, the big run up top.
And then behind them, Ben Baffert has already caught up to the back end of the 28 of Dennis Still, and he's got AJ Stavato pushing him. That entire backpack that single filed out took about 3 or 4 laps to close back up to them. So not as long as I was thinking it was going to take them, but now are they going to ride single file? Now this pack went from about a 12-car pack to a 30-car pack in a matter of 4 or 5 laps. So curious to see if these guys are just going to stay in line on that bottom, or maybe start moving up to the top and starting to spread out a little bit.
I saw a couple cars hinting at going to the top side, but they would not have really been able to get anything done there. 3 cars at the back of the field, though. Eric Hutton, Nick Starling, and Robert Gilmore. These guys about 7.2 seconds behind the race leader, and doing everything they can to just keep up speed here. 3 cars in line, and running competitive lap times, but not necessarily making up a lot of ground with the small group of cars right here. But they're hoping for a yellow to break out, I'm sure, so they can get caught back up.
I think they maybe thought to stay at the end of the pack, maybe thinking these guys were going to race aggressive, which they have been, but they've been keeping it mostly green and clean. But now looking at these guys up here, they're dicing a little bit, and the intensity's only going to pick up as we go later and later into this race. You can see these guys starting to kind of get single filed out, and that bottom is starting to, well, let's just say it has most of the cars, but that top one's fighting off enough where it has about the maximum or the least amount of cars to actually make it work still. But those top two, Wilson and Abby, are able to pull away with these guys stalling each other out in the 97 and the 48.
Yeah, Cosman getting a run up on the top side, though. You see him starting to get right alongside Bradley Wilson. Not quite there headed into turn one, but the 97 of Luke Nupp works to his inside. And kind of wobbling. He's been wobbling a little bit here tonight, maybe struggling with the handling of that Ford Mustang.
These cars are a little harder to drive on other tracks. We saw a little bit with these next gens, maybe getting a little upset when you get a push or a bumper to the back of the, you get a front bumper and a back bumper connecting, and especially I noticed still those Chevy noses they do upset the cars a lot more. But man, look at these guys stalling out at each other. Bradley Wilson and Joshua Abbey are able to pull out about a 3/4 gap on the pack. But again, if this was a last lap situation, Wilson would probably be able to build that run as Nupp and Noel almost make contact in the tri-oval. Looks like Nupp being that good teammate, kind of trying to fend off the guys that are challenging his teammates. But he's also getting, as you can see, the car's getting upset being around, and he can see he's being aggressive with the side drafts in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, Cosman coming right down the hill right there, pulls alongside the 97, pulls him back, and he's going to actually get clear of Luke Nupp for the moment. But the 97 now with a shove from Jeremy Stanley, he'll get pushed back alongside, and they continue to stall each other out, but still closing in on those top two. All the meanwhile, and here comes Luke Nupp. Is he's going to jump to the top side? No, he stays down low.
He's trying to kind of throw those guys off, kind of maybe trying to give them that beach ball effect of the air bubble. See, Nupp's going to close up. So look at that. He's going to close up to the 98 and the 99. As now Jeremy Stanley's going to be able to pull along with them, and he's going to be able to tuck in. And now Cosman Noel will also tuck in, and now it's going to leave Atkins in the 81. That's going to actually, I think he's going to be held up. And now Sullivan, Brendel, and Steele are going to kind of fall back as long as they can slot in line here, which I think they have enough of a gap right behind Alan Dice to do it.
Yeah, Cosman jumps back to the top side here. No help, though. He'll drop back down in line. The Nexus Esports machine right there. Seth Noel stays in line with him. And Cody pulling back alongside now. He gets up to Chris Samard. But the top four starting to drive away.
It's a risky situation that they don't want to put themselves in. They don't really want to stall each other out, especially with Atkins and Samard back here. They don't want to stall each other out because those top four now about to be top six are going to maybe pull away from them if they don't get single filed up here. It's just the time of the run where these guys are going to start playing it safe, get ready for pit stops, and they're going to try to get single file, but they do not want to stall each other. As you can see, the backpack to these guys, Ben Baffert, I believe, is leading that one. They've kind of drifted back a little bit. Now it's become three distinct packs with that's Dennis Faircloth leading the third pack.
That is back in 26th position. He's got the Simulators Anonymous machines right here with him, along with Jordan Shepler. And they are fading back a little ways, trying to probably pick up those last three. Eric Hutton, Nick Starling, Robert Gilmore. I know there's some alliances on the racetrack, and a lot of these guys are very friendly with one another. But definitely some rivalries out here, too. So it's interesting to see who teams up with who when it comes to these super speedway races. But Joshua Abbey, the Shenandoah Shine Machines out in front, holding down the top four positions. Cosman right there behind them, and now Cody Atkins continuing to make progress up top.
We've got that 46 of Dallas Sullivan and that Martin Sports Ford Mustang being able to kind of get behind him. But as you can see, Sullivan can't close up. It's that beach ball air bubble effect that that guys talk about here. I remember Dale Jr., I remember him pointing out how the way it works, you need somebody to kind of push you, which in this case, with Dallas Sullivan would need TJ Brendel to kind of suck up to that back bumper and give him just enough of just an arrow push and push him up to that 81. But that 81 is trying everything he can to build some momentum on the top, but the 46 cannot close up to him enough to where they can make any headway.
Yeah, and this lead group held by Dennis Steele. That is 17 race cars. Ben Baffert back at 18th leads a group. That is Jeremiah Vincent, the last car in that one, back to 25th, and then 26th on back. Over 9 seconds off the leaders at this point, and now they've grouped up. It looks like Eric Hutton, Nick Starling, and Gilmore are going to be within drafting range here in a few moments. So Interesting to see. That's a little too far back for my liking when it comes to these tracks.
Yeah.
They're going to have some work to do.
Yeah, they're going to have to make it up on pit stops and obviously just on time being in the draft. I think another thing we see here that can play into factor, I believe Joshua Abbey, he's been the leader for a few laps, or he's been leading a line for, I would say, about 10, 15 laps or so. So they're going to be burning off more fuel, or Joshua Abbey specifically would be burning off more fuel than maybe Bradley Wilson, Luke Knupp, and then you see behind them Jeremy Stanley. These guys are going to be burning off a little bit more fuel, or Joshua Abbey will be, than he probably wants to. So I'm going to be curious to see when these guys are going to pit and when they're not going to pit. We've seen pit stops, we've seen guys speed going into the pits, lock up, maybe a crash. You just never know what's going to happen with these pit stops. So I'm curious to see. Joshua Abbey's really going to dictate what happens during this green flag pit stop cycle.
Yeah, and pit stops will be starting, I think the window's open in about 5 laps or so for them to make it to the end of the race on another single pit stop. So we'll see who is going to try and shortcut it here. I don't know if there's a big benefit other than just trying to coordinate with your teammates, or maybe take a little bit less fuel, maybe 2 tires versus 4, or no tires. We'll have to wait and see what the strategy calls are, but that should be coming up pretty soon. But clean and green here the first 22 laps, and Joshua Abbey out in front. He has led now 12 laps, so very good performance from the Shenandoah Shine number 99 as he leads this field from Talladega. Really good, good clean battling so far. It's been, they've been a bit racy, but now it looks like they're definitely holding off.
Down.
Yeah.
I think they're getting ready for pit stop. Like you said, I believe the pit window will probably open up about lap 28, lap 29. But obviously these things have a little bit bigger fuel tanks than the Gen 6 car actually had. So I could see in a situation where we might be seeing these guys hit a little bit later than. Or pit a little bit later than we might expect, maybe around lap 32, lap 33, which is always possible. So I'm curious to see as well. The lead pack's gotten single filed out, but Ben Baffert, or AJ Stravado, excuse me, is the leader of that second pack. And Dennis Steele, Zach Smith, Alan Dice, well, not Alan Dice necessarily, but Zach Smith and Dennis Steele are starting to lose that draft a little bit. And especially Dennis Steele. I think Dennis Steele has actually fully lost it. And as we've seen before, and we saw it in the duels this year, where these guys get single filed out, you could lose the draft, and cars start falling off one by one until maybe there's a big enough pack to pick them up. And then, oh, Stravado gets turned!
Oh my goodness, the 33.
Off the nose of Ben Baffert, the points leader!
Exactly what he did not need. Only a 25-point cushion coming into this race. This could be devastating for his regular season championship hopes, or at least knock him back down to the stratosphere, or out of the stratosphere rather. Let's go take a look at what happened to him. And that's the danger of pushing too hard at these super speedways. So easy to get the bumpers misaligned, as you see Ben Baffert, the Mobile One machine right there behind the Waste Management Camaro, and yeah, just gets hooked up into the
Oh. Yeah, that's a lot of damage for super speedway, and oh my goodness, Jeremiah Vincent, almost hit that 33.
Yeah, Timmy Emanuele.
Emanuele as well.
Woo! That is a close call.
The 9 as well. Oh, the 3 as well. Look at the 9 just missed. I think they both had to go through the grass.
Yeah, they actually had to go in through the pit entry here. Let's go take a look on board with Josiah Vincent, who I think was the closest. So unexpected for that to happen, but those cars bounce off the wall, and oh, yep, evasive move.
And we saw it this year. A perfect example is Brad Keselowski in the 2022 Daytona 500. Seeing those guys, you're shoving, and we saw it when he was pushing, I believe it was the 21 of Harrison Burton off of turn 2. These cars, when they unload, they get light off the corner, and then obviously having somebody right on that back bumper could also be devastating mistake, as we saw right there with Ben Baffert and Adrian Stravado. So, yeah, it's a tough break for Stravado. I believe that car is going to be, that car's definitely killed. I don't think it'll be able to stay in the draft, but yeah, that's a tough situation for Stravado, which is Zach Carr. If he can now just finish inside the top 15, Zach Carr could be able. He's only 25 points behind the 33, and going into Michigan, we could have a battle for the regular season title, and as well as obviously the cut line to make it into the chase for the BTDY Cup.
Yeah, not a great pit stop there for Joshua Abbey. I think 4 tires as Cosman actually didn't even stop in his box is what I'm seeing. Eric Lambert just getting into his box. So Seth Noel, or actually rather Jeremy Stanley should win the battle off there. I think that is a 4-tire pit stop though for the 60. Looks like 11.7 seconds. That's four tire pit stop range. So
Yeah,
60
might as well, honestly.
yeah, 60 crew taking the win off pit road there. Cosman's probably gonna have to bring it in. This is gonna be interesting for fuel mileage to the end of the race with the way that the timing of this came out. But
Yeah. I think if you look at what everything is going to be like, I'm going to assume it's only one more stop. When that stop comes, I'm really not sure. I'm going to assume probably around lap 60 or so, maybe a little bit later than that. Obviously, these guys under caution can save some fuel, shut the car off, then put it back on and kind of clutch and coast around this big track. I mean, 2.5 or 2.66 miles. That's a huge track and a plenty amount of time to coast. But I could also see some guys maybe bringing it back down pit road and maybe topping off on some gas and seeing if they can go just an extra lap. But now I believe with only one pit stop, we could see the intensity rise, and I think it will. And now look, I mean, I'm looking here. 33 cars on the track, or 32 cars that don't have damage, I would say. But curious to see what's going to happen now with pitting. But obviously, Cosman, if he did miss his box, he's going to be in a bad spot because he's going to have to probably restart around 32nd, 33rd.
yeah, and he is gonna bring it in here and give up the race lead, and this might play to his advantage though. I mean, he'll have an extra lap of fuel, even though it's a pace lap. He'll still have a little bit more in the tank than the rest of these guys, and you don't know, it could end up working out. It looks like is that Nick Starling gonna pull it down pit road as well? It is.
Emanuele, I believe that's Rendell, Baffert, Shepler, and then Carr, and then one other.
Angelo Ronis.
Angelo Ronis.
Yeah, the new paint scheme on that car, hard to pick that one apart. At first glance from that distance. So we do have lights off on the pace car. We'll be going green this time. Anybody want to pull in the booth here and talk to you before we get going?
Get Joshua Abbey in here. I know you had a bad pit stop. Did he bring it back in, or is he
No,
still on?
He's still on the racetrack.
Oh, he's on. Yeah, I think he's led the most laps so far. Let's get Joshua Abbey in here, one of the Shenandoah Shine guys. I can move him in. There we go. Joshua Abbey, Adam Baker, and Alec Martinez in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, fellas?
It's going pretty good. You've led the most laps so far. Looks like you got the Shenandoah Shine boys brought some speed and race trim. You've led the most laps so far today, and then you've obviously got Luke right in front of you, and then Bradley right behind you. So, how you guys feeling, and how's the chemistry been going so far?
I feel great. Super speedway racing for me and Brad is like second nature. We love doing this. So he can push me anywhere he wants on the track, and we'll make it happen. And let's see, we're actually going to try to strategize and try to see if we can get back up there again and lead some more laps.
Heck yeah, man. Well, do you think you have a shot at winning this? I know everybody has a shot here, but it looks like you have a fast car. You got the teammates behind you. Do you think it's possible we could see you guys get a 1, 2, 3?
100%. Straight up confidence. 100%. We got some great chemistry at Shadow Shine, and see if we can't do it again and pull this one off.
Heck yeah, man. Well, good luck in the rest of this race, man, and go bring her home
Absolutely,
a winner.
boys. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Heck
Yep,
yeah,
good
man.
luck.
Good luck. Speaking of Shenandoah Shine, they got their brand on Anthony Alfredo's car this past weekend at Richmond. It's pretty cool to see them. Saw some pictures that they pictures posted of what they had at Richmond, and I think it was the Larry's Lemonade car on Anthony Alfredo. That was a nice car.
Yeah.
So, and I think he brought it home 16th or
Good.
15th.
Yeah,
He had a
good
good
run.
race.
Good run for him in that car. That I don't remember what team is it. Our Motorsports.
Our
Or it
Motorsports,
is-
not yours, not mine, ours.
Yeah, they have some good runs now and then, so good to see them with a top 15. That's nice for the small teams. Green flag back in the air. Jeremy Stanley a little bit out of line there as the 97 of Luke Knupp almost got to his inside, but decided to back out of it. And Seth Noel, who's had a very strong race so far, he'll lead that top side.
Yeah, and I think another reason why Nup didn't take that, I believe there is a double yellow rule, as I think the league is even called the below the double yellow line. So I don't know how that works, but it's all good. But as you can see, Nup's being really aggressive with those pushes, and Stanley
He's
blinking there, but
Yeah.
see, but that's gonna kind of mess these guys up a little bit. But they're able to kind of get single followed back out. I think Stanley starting to blink here a little bit, maybe throwing it off, but yeah, he's really starting to blink there. But Nup is able to kind of start to, or he's going to get the lead of that bottom lane.
Yeah.
It's almost a bad situation there, but
Yeah, but they're able to recover at least in line still, the 97, 99, and 98. But they're going to try and chase down Seth Noel, who's led, I believe, the second most laps here so far this evening.
Yes.
Keith Mayato, who's also a race winner at these super speedways, right there in second place. Keith, looking for his first win of the season, has been really unlucky, I think, in a lot of races where he could have won this season. And as the second most winningest driver here in league history, that he's a guy who's hungry for victory lane.
oh, he is. And you know what? I'm surprised he hasn't won a race this year. But look at that. Oh, Noel almost gets pushed out of line by Nup. Nup's been probably the most aggressive driver on pushes today. You can see as Noel got a little bit loose off of 4 after a big shove from the 97. Now the two VSPEED teammates of Mayato and Samard are going to be leading that top lane.
Yeah, and Samard, my pick to win this one. He's hanging tough up here in the top 5 most of this race and trying to keep up with his teammate there. I know Chris would be so thankful for a win here tonight, man. What that would do for him in terms of points. He's inside the top 12, but it's been an up and down season for him as well, and really needs a couple of great finishes here to close things out and make it into that chase.
He did, and last week he had a great run at Martinsville and made some mistakes, and he was not happy with himself. I could remember him just talking to him. He was not happy with what happened at Martinsville, and he said that he needs to do better, and I guarantee you he can. And speaking of the point situation, right behind that 37 of Chris Samard, Kenny Bishop, the first guy outside of the top 12, as he's going to slot in right behind the 98 of Bradley Wilson. But that 4 car and the 60, I believe, are teammates as well, both of them running that Valvoline car. But Kenny Bishop is only 5 points out from Jeremiah Vincent and only 7 points behind the 7 of or the 47 of Dallas, or 46 of Dallas Sullivan. I can't talk. But speaking of points, Kenny Bishop's one of those guys that has a very, very good shot. Is you cannot afford any wreck here. Obviously, being up here, there's a lot of aggressive guys here. You don't want to get yourself in a wreck here. But if Bishop can keep it nice and easy and not get in a wreck, he'll be looking good with Jeremiah Vincent being at the back right now.
Yeah, Kenny was actually in the top 12 for most of this season. Just fell out, I think, last week after Martinsville. So definitely looking to try and bounce back here and get a nice strong top 10, I would think would be the goal, just to finish this thing as good as you can. Even if you lose a couple points to Jeremiah, I'm sure some of these other guys are going to get collected in something at some point tonight, although it's been very, very clean racing. How about this? A third lane forming up there. That is Josiah Vincent. Eric Hutton coming along with him.
There goes the Shenandoah Shine Boys up to the outside. That's going to check up the bottom as Noel is going to fall and drop like a rock in the water.
Yeah, he is fading a little bit here, but still hanging tough in 4th position. I want to keep an eye back here on this, what was 3 wide for a moment there. You see Dennis
I think it's
Steele.
Eric Hutton.
Yeah, Hutton making his way forward. He was
Hutton
running.
and Vincent.
Yeah, Hutton was about last for most of this race, so making some moves as we're used to seeing that 88.
Yeah, that 88. I remember one time in the virtual racing league, I don't know if you had broadcasted, but Eric Hutton was able to control all the lanes and was able to bring it home a winner. Eric Hutton is no slouch on super speedway racing, and as well as Josiah Vincent. The Vincent brothers very good at super speedway racing. Eric Hutton very good at super speedway racing on the VMS team. They're very good super speedway racers. And I can see they're trying to get that top lane going as guys starting to slot back inside onto the inside lane.
Yeah, and now it's kind of reverse role from what we saw earlier on in this race where the top line was dominant. Now it's the bottom line again. And the top lane, only about 6 or 7 cars up there, led by Josiah and Eric. You see Cosman right there, Dennis Steele, Dallas Sullivan. And you mentioned Dallas inside the top 12 in points. He's had a very good season. A
He
couple of
has.
shots at race wins, and you can just see he's improved season over season, and up there in the mix this time around to make it into the postseason. So that's really cool to see the improvement there, and I'm sure he's enjoying some of the success as well.
For sure, for sure. Nothing like, running good. And would this be his best season that he's had so far?
Yeah, I would think so. I think he's got a few top fives already in the first
Yeah.
11 races, so that's really good. He's got a few of those across the last few seasons, but just this season alone, he's probably doubled it up. So
Yeah.
that shows you the improvement there.
If any
Yes.
race that comes to mind for Dallas Sullivan, it was Kentucky, staying out on the old tires and having the cautions almost fall perfectly his way, where he could have almost won that race. But in Martinsville as well, he had a great strategy at Martinsville, and he did really good. As we can see now, Josiah Vincent on the outside, almost getting blocked by the 29. As that top line starting to form and get some momentum, some energy building. They got some more cars up there, and Dennis Steele's going to take it 3 wide up to the outside.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the right move for him. He is going to lose some ground, or rather, Cosman's going to drop to the inside. So Dennis, but not able to slot in front of Dallas Sullivan there. So Dennis Steele going to fall back a little bit here. He's running the white pineapple monster team. I guess that's fitting. You're eating some pineapple over there.
I was.
And,
I'm a big fan of pineapple.
Yeah, we talked about that. And my favorite fruit. I've never had that flavor of Monster though. I'm sure it's probably pretty good.
I'm not a big energy drink guy, so I don't know if I'd. Oh man, Abby almost spun the 97 up there, but yeah, I'm not a big Monster Energy guy. But now, as you can see, Wilson's gonna block that 29 car. Noel, a big head of steam, and now Kenny Bishop, and I believe that's. Oh man, Vincent, these guys are getting aggressive now. Only 36 laps, almost halfway through this race. These guys, the patience is starting to run out. These guys starting to make some moves. Cosman's going to slot back in behind his teammate, Josiah Vincent, and I believe that's Eric Hutton, are starting to make some headway up to the front.
And that's what I figured would happen eventually, especially Eric Hutton. I've seen him come out of nowhere for these race wins at these super speedways. There was one race, I think 2 seasons ago here in the Below the Double Yellow, where he was probably about 6th at the white flag, and coming through the tri-oval, he just edged out the leaders and got the win. But it seemed like he came out of nowhere, but he had been working his way forward the whole race, and tonight seems to be the same kind of story. That 88 looking strong, looking fast, trying to close out one of these races this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's been close. Another race, Kentucky, where he was probably the dominant car of the day, as well with Jeremy Stanley that race. Where it looked like they had the speed, and Hutton had one bad, I think he missed his box, and then had to go to the back for a speeding penalty as well, and then he got caught up in a wreck late in that race. And yeah, he's just been bad luck. He's just had some bad luck on his side. Last week at Martinsville, was running inside the top 2, and he spun off the corner. But looking for some redemption, and if there's any place that can put some momentum in your hands and put some confidence in the season, it's this place where anybody can win. And we all know that it's very hard to win here at Talladega, even though the racing is more on the easy side, but it is hard to win here.
Yeah, it's a different kind of racing and more of a chess match, and timing those runs and keeping your car clean for as long as you can. Very different than other styles of racing. This is 100% unique to NASCAR. I know IndyCar has like pack racing in some occasions, but
Yeah.
not really the same thing. But these guys out in front here, these Shenandoah Shine machines, still 1, 2, 3, but the LDR or VMS machines up on the top side rather, working their way forward. Josiah Vincent, that 3 machine, that's a number we're used to seeing out front here, and he's working his way forward. That is for sure. Big run here, trying to pull alongside Bradley Wilson.
Yeah, the Shenandoah Shine boys are working pretty good. And right now they broke about even with the 4 of Kenny Bishop and the 60 of, I believe that's Jeremy Stanley, and those beautiful Mark Martin throwbacks. As you can see, look at the run that Bishop was able to get and close up right to the back of the 98 of Bradley Wilson. And how about a name we haven't talked about, well, at least in this race, but we've talked about all year. He's creeped his way up there, and I know he almost had a shot at winning last year until he got turned off of turn 4 on the last lap. Seth Hatchell is up inside the top 10 and about 6th place right now, as he's been able to clear the 3 of Josiah Vincent.
Yeah, Seth has won at Daytona in this league, but I don't think he's found victory lane at Talladega. But definitely, I've raced with Seth a bunch in official races, And we always seem to be able to finish 1-2 in these super speedway races. I don't know what it is. Like, I've had horrible league racing luck at these places, but in officials, I can. He's a guy who can find his way up there and keep the car clean.
Yeah, I've seen you get hooked many times in front of the field in the Xfinity Series.
Goodness.
But man, look at the run that Hatch was able to get with just Josiah Vincent all over the back bumper, shoving him down the straightaway. Went from right behind Jeremy Stanley into the corner, almost to the back bumper, and right up to the back bumper, or at the quarter panel of the 4 of Kenny Bishop. The top lane just needs about 1 or 2 more cars. They think they just got it with Timmy Emanuele sneaking up there in that Jeff Gordon throwback. They just need to build that run enough. As you can see, Hatchell able to get a big enough push, but Josiah Vincent needs to break that air bubble to try to make some headway going down the backstretch.
Yeah, they're not really able to move past that 4th car on the inside lane. That's about where they've stalled out. Hatchell now leading that lane, though, over Josiah Vincent, Eric Hutton, Noel right there, as well as Cosman. But they're going to jump to the top side, try and go 3 wide here. Bold move just past halfway. This is the halfway lap, actually, and they're going to take it 3 wide.
That's really going to stall those guys out. I believe Luke Nutt might get the halfway point. But I just didn't think that was going to be the right move. Look at how much it's going to stall them out here. Now they're going to have to find a way to get single file and rebuild that run, because that run just got killed by that.
Yeah, Hatchell abandoned ship. He dropped down to the 6th position, I believe, or 5th position down there in the inside lane. Dallas Sullivan right there. You see Eric Hutton, Josiah Vincent also going to drop down in line. And that second lane just dissolved, completely gone now. We still have 3 wide for 2 rows deep there, but they are just dropping like rocks here towards the back of this lead pack. And we do have a second pack back there led by Reggie Ortega, I believe. Angelo Ronas as well, Zach Carr, Ben Bafford, and a handful of others back here. Some of those simulators anonymous machines at the back of the field. Speaking of which, how about our pole sitter? How's he doing? 22nd, Eric Lambert, tail end of that lead group right now.
Looks like Jeremiah Vincent's going to lose that lead group as well. It looks like he's about falling out of the draft here. Now with these guys getting single file, now becomes very important that they get single file and stay up on the back bumper of that last car and ahead of them.
Yeah, and that is what Eric Lambert's responsibility is going to be at this point. He's going to have to try and keep up with his teammate Kevin McGarvey. Luckily, he's got a little bit of a lifeline. If he does start to fall back, then maybe McGarvey would, try and hang with him. But yeah, very close to losing touch right there, but he gets pulled back up out of turn number 2. Ryan Gimmel back here as well, kind of biding his time. Chris Samard, Keith Mile of the VSPEED machines outside the top 15. Alan Dice, nice solid clean run so far up here, 17th. See if there's anybody else who kind of stands out in the lead group. TJ Brendel, Dennis Steele, of course, up here in the mix tonight.
As well.
Yeah, Zach, who's had
about him much.
Yeah, Zach has had a couple of solid performances. Kind of flies under the radar, but a driver just tries to keep stuff clean. And we love rooting for him in VSPEED After Dark. He seems to put on some great performances over there, but
wow,
has not had the performances or the finishes here, I'd say, to keep him up in playoff contention. But right now, up in the mix.
That's Noel. I don't know if you saw in that front stretch, and I don't know, you might see it again here. Look at the tandeming that we talked about early in the previous. He's got Cosman. Maybe he had to cool his car down a little bit, but he went from right next to Josiah Vincent off of turn 4 to now up to, I believe that's the 5th place car, Jeremy Stanley in that 60 car. If Cosman could get back up to that bumper of the 29, they can make some massive energy up on that top lane. And if they can just get more cars, just talked about them right now, Zach Smith, Dennis Steele, they jumped up, they saw the momentum that they were able to carry. Nobody else going up yet. Emanuele thinks about it, and he'll go up and try to pass the 34, TJ Brendel. But man, look at the run now. They're starting to get some momentum built on that top lane. Now Emanuele is up there and trying to join up in that 5th place car on the outside.
Look at the run he's got too. He just pulled by 3 cars like they were standing still. He pulls right up to Zach Smith. But Timmy maybe going to add a little bit of horsepower to that outside lane as they kind of stalled out up there alongside Seth Hatchell. They'll have to regroup here. Dennis Steele right in the mix. Zach Smith. Timmy drops now down to the inside, so able to gain a couple spots right there with that move.
Yeah, was kind of able to break those guys up on the outside. Hunt went up into turn 3, side drafted that one of Zach Smith, pulled him back enough to where I think Emanuele had enough of a gap to where he shot back because they lost so much momentum. And now Josiah Vincent, Timmy Emanuele again thinking about joining up on that top lane, where you can see that 29 of Seth Noel and that 48 of Cosman. He is really being able to get up to that back bumper and be able to break that bubble. I haven't really been able to see the Chevys, other than Seth Noel, be able to break the bubble and pushing guys, but the Fords seem like they can do it so much easier in the draft.
I think those Fords really have it dialed in, although we've seen, you know, in real NASCAR, they've had some struggles here, although Toyota, I think, as well has had their struggles. Chevy's been really kind of top dog so far this season in the Cup Series, although last couple races maybe not the case. But yeah, these Fords out front here tonight definitely putting on a good showing, and right behind them it's a couple of Camaros, and I don't know where the first Toyotas are. I think they're all the way back at the Simulators Anonymous machines. I think those are the only Toyotas in the field, so they're way back there.
Garvey. Oh, no. There's one in the lead pack, and I believe that is
Lambert or Kevin McGarvey.
Kevin McGarvey, and I believe that's Eric Lambert. Are the first few Toyotas that are in the lead pack. They are actually the only 2 Toyotas in the lead pack, and behind them, Kyle McGarvey is the next Toyota, running in 27th behind Ben Baffert in that second pack.
Baffert, who probably got the EOL. I didn't see if he actually did get one for causing the last incident, but he is back here 26th, 6 seconds.
Battle for the lead. Here comes the 29. Seth Noel making some more headway up. He's got a push from Cosman there, and then behind them, Dennis Steele's been able to kind of hang up on the back of that 48. But now Noel up to now side drafting the 98 and able to pull that 98 back away from the 99's bumper. But now he's going to have to pull him back down onto the straightaway as he closes back up.
Yeah, so battle for the race lead here, 48 laps in. It's not quite a battle just yet, though. Joshua Abbey pushing Luke Nuff out in front. Look at the close call there in the middle of turns 3 and 4. The 98 trying to intimidate the 29 of Seth Noel, and it worked for a moment, but here they come. Big push through the trioval. Cosman right on the back bumper. Dennis Steele, that 3-car group up on the top, actually doing a really good job, and they're going to pull alongside for second or for third. Still 2 more cars out in front, just not able to overcome the power of those Shenandoah Shine Ford Mustangs.
Steve Noel has really been able to side draft the 98, but the 98 side drafts him right back in the middle of the corner. You'll see on the straightaway, Noel pulls down a little bit and then pulls back up. But the 98's got a car on his bumper, and he's able to tuck up on the bumper of the 99. But you can see into the corner, Noel's able to break him up. And now let's see if he can side draft him into the corner. He just can't. Look at the run that Wilson's able to generate on the bottom with just having 1 or 2 extra cars behind him.
Really good side-by-side battling up here at the front. Still quite a few cars in this lead group, all the way back to Kevin McGarvey, Eric Lambert. Those 2 have actually fallen off of the draft here. So Alan Dice, last one in the pack, as they are 2 wide, a little bit farther back here.
Doing this.
Yeah, they're going to lose some time and potentially get in some trouble, but the VSPEED machines actually, well, looks like they may be trying to form up. Yeah.
It could be good, as you can see Emanuele as well, trying to jump up to that outside. Now, Dennis Steele gets away from the 9 and the 29, or the 48 and then 29. He tucks up right behind Jeremy Stanley in the 60 and in front of Seth Hatchell. And now I'm curious to see what's going to happen with these guys, as we got the Simulator Anonymous boys pitting this lap. Curious to see it. It's going to open the window for pitting. Now we're coming to 30 to go, but I expect these guys around lap 60 to start coming in, taking their fuel, maybe 2 tires, and then going the rest of the race on the same sets. As you can see up at the front pack, things starting to slice and jumble up a little bit.
Yes, they go single file all the way back to Cosman, but side by side, Timmy Emanuele, the VSPEED machines right there, as well as Zach Smith, Josiah Vincent, TJ Brendel.
Oh, here we go. Sounds like we're going to be having some green flag pit stops here. The Shenandoah Shine boys calling their pit stops. Hatchell goes high. Now the 46 goes high. Dennis Steele decides he's coming in. Hand out the window. The Shenandoah Shine boys are coming in. Who else is going to follow suit?
So this is going to be about 29 laps to the end of this race. If they pit here, that'll be the longest run we've gone on as they dive onto pit road. Everybody looks to be doing a great job there. No issues as far as cars going around. Oh, close call, though, for Bradley Wilson as he crosses behind Joshua Abbey, but they make it to their boxes just fine. As you see AJ Stravato, that heavily damaged number 33. AJ currently last. He'll go one lap down right now. Still impressive, honestly, that he's only one lap down with the heavy nose damage on that car.
Here we go. It sounds like the 4 and the 60 are going to be pitting as well. Curious to see if anybody else is also going to come in. I believe Cosman also came in with the Shenandoah Shine Boys, but now curious to see who else is going to pit. You don't want to run side by side for much longer and have those guys that came in that are going to be in a single file line pull away from you after pit stops cycle out. Only 2 cars are coming in. Oh, I think Nup was speeding.
Did get speeding. He's been on pit road for a long time, still serving the penalty, so that is going to be disastrous for him. May lose a lap here under
He
the pit
did lose
cycle.
a lap.
Well, for
I
the
think that's
moment,
also-
even
I
when
think
they
that's-
cycle, yeah.
I don't think that's even going to help him. That's definitely going to kill that lead pack that had came in first with Noel Wilson. It's been jumbled up. It's 2 and 3 cars going into turn 3.
Keep an eye on that. So Joshua Abbey up here with Bradley Wilson on his tail, and then Seth Noel, Dennis Steele, Cosman, all nose to tail there. They'll make a 5-car group if they can get linked up.
We're gonna see this lead pack start coming in. Sounds like these guys calling in their pit stops. They're coming in here.
Yep,
Here
they
goes
come.
Hatchell and everybody, all this entire pack coming in. Atkins gets loose in the back here now. Got to make sure they don't speed into the pits here. Very crucial pit stop. Could be the last pit stop that these guys have all night. So money stop for the crews, money stops for the drivers to be in and out as quick as they can.
Hatchell will pull down into his box. Got to make sure not to miss the braking point. It's so easy. Oh, and it looks like my auto overshoots just a little bit, so that could cost him some time. Reggie Ortega still on the racetrack here, leading Angelo, Zach, and Ben Baffert.
This is going to be the battle for the lead now. Where do the Shenandoah Shine Boys? You can see all these guys leaving pit road. Everybody leaving pit road. Abby, Wilson, Noel, Steele, and Cosman are going to be coming out through the tri-oval.
Yeah, let's take a look at what they took for the pit stops here, because Noel 12 point. Yeah, everybody taking 4 tires, I think. Eric Lambert in the simulators and non-notice cars, they all took 2, so that is the difference with them. But they are still behind by over 4 seconds. But
Here
things will get kind of stacked up here in a few moments.
Looks like Hatchell, the V-Speed guys, including Dallas Sullivan, were able to jump these guys. Now this pack's going to get jumbled up. Will they run single file is the question. I don't think so. There's about only 25 laps to go, and they are going all the way to the end on these sets of tires and the sets and the full tanks of fuel. As you can see, Abby's going to go up to the outside with Wilson. And boys, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a race to the end.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a battle of the teams here. We've got the V-Speed machines along with Dallas Sullivan all synced up. 5 cars down low, 5 cars up high as they try to race into turn number 1 side by side. There's still 4 cars yet to pit, but here they come. That's going to be Reggie Ortega leading, Angelo Ronas, Zach Carr, and Ben Baffert, the final drivers to stop on pit road, other than Nick Starling and Jordan Scheffler, who are still out there, still on this run, but have not taken over the lead.
Pit as well.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring it in, but they're staying out another lap.
Yeah, interesting strategies now, but this gonna be soon to be lead pack with Hatchell and all of them. Now we can see Ortega, Baffert, Ronas, they're about to leave the pits, but I believe the lead pack is coming to the trial. They're gonna lose them. But now the real question is that we got Cosman and Dennis Steele is gonna be the last car here in this pack, which still is going to be running in 12th. This is about a 12-car pack. Nup's going to make it a 13-car pack. And behind them, I believe it's Eric Hutton, Timmy Emanuele, Zach Smith, Cody Atkins, and Alan Dye. Single file. They're going to try to run these guys down.
I think they should be able to get there. That seems like enough cars that if they can just stay organized, they could get up there. We could have a really big group racing for this. If you recall the Daytona race, there were only, 3 cars maybe fighting for the win in that one? And that was a very unusual way for those races to end. You usually have like 5 to 10 fighting for it, and this looks like it's going to be the case here tonight. We'll see if they wreck or anything, but Nick Starling, Jordan Shepard still on the racetrack.
Interesting. If they are able to catch him, Dice Atkins, Smith, Emanuele, and Hutton, if they can catch it, it'll make it about a 15-car pack. Behind them, Kenny Bishop, Jeremy Stanley, Josiah Vincent, Brendo. They are very far back. I don't think they're going to be able to run these guys down. If Hutton is able to catch up to that lead pack, it'll look like about a 15-car race to the end and for the win here. But up front, Hatchell. He's got a push from his teammate Chris Samard. The VSPEED boys on the inside was Sullivan, and then the other VSPEED teammate Gimmel, Steele, and then on the outside the Shenandoah boys and the Nexus Esports guys.
Exciting stuff out here. It's going to be some team battling as well.
Oh, it
and
is.
when it comes down to those last few laps, the teammates start to go out the window though too. You really, especially the last lap, right? No, you're all racing for yourselves at that point. So it's going to be interesting to see who works together the best, and if anybody commits to just pushing a teammate across the line first, because that could be the difference here in this one, as Nick Starling and also who's that with him? They bring it down to pit.
Shepler.
Yeah, and Shepler, they've pulled it on the pit road, and off and away they go. But right now, 29th and 30th for those two drivers is they're going to be hoping for a yellow flag.
Yes, they are.
But
So you're looking at Eric Hutt here. He's from Dennisville, who is going to be the last car in that lead pack with them running side by side. He's about 2.4 seconds away from the back bumper of that 28, but he's losing time. He's about 2.5 seconds back and slowly falling to 2.6. This might end up being a 10 car for the race unless they wreck each other out of this.
yeah, and that is definitely not out of the question. I mean, 10 cars is 9 cars too many for the race win. So all these guys are going to fight really hard, and it's just probably going to depend on when that caution comes out. If it does come out after the white flag, then we're not going to get the yellow flag. You know, it's just going to be race to the end, and that will not help out those guys farther back. But if we get it before then, it's anybody's game, I think, here tonight. We still have almost every car on the lead lap, just Luke Knupp and AJ Stravato. And Stravato heavily damaged. He's out of contention for this one. But Luke Knupp is in this lead pack. If a yellow comes out, he's got the lucky dog. He's back in the fight.
Now, my guess is if the yellow comes out, it might be from this pack, but he's got to make sure he doesn't get involved in the wreck if it does come from here. As you can see, Abby's now pulled up to the 8 of Seth Hatchell. Now it's going to rely on those pushers. Wilson and Abby, they've been working together great all day.
Yeah, we got the number 8 and then a paint scheme of the old number 8.
Oh, man.
Down there in the inside lane, so they're going to be working together. You know they want a plate win here in those race cars, but the
top two on the outside are hooked up. Abby's not able to clear of the 8 yet, but Samar needs to get on that back bumper. As you can see, Wilson just can't stay on it yet.
They're going to have the momentum out of turn number 4, maybe just enough to get clear, headed down into turn number 1, but a bump there from Samard onto Hatchell. And you got to think Hatchell is fighting for that regular season championship too.
Yes.
He is right there with Zach Carr. This is a golden opportunity with Stravato all the way back in 33rd. If Hatchell wins, he will take the points lead.
It's crazy how this is already working. I mean, Zach Carr, who is running in the 22nd position, and Hatchell has already gotten a point for leading a lap, which Zach Carr has not received this race. We may have a two-way tie going into the final race. As you can see, Abby and Wilson able to clear down to the bottom in front of Hatchell, but going into Michigan, we might have a three-man fight for the regular season championship at Michigan.
Yeah, that would be incredible stuff. I know right now where Zach Carr is, he's not in a prime position to make up that many points on AJ Stravato. He'll cut the deficit in about half, but you know he'd like to capitalize a bit more on the problem for the 33, and just not able to do that at the moment. He is about 10 seconds back of this lead group.
See, now they're getting single filed out here. The Nexus Esports guys are going to get hung up on the outside with Cosman and Noel. As behind them, Hutton really hasn't been able to make up much time, still sitting around the gap of 2.6, 2.7 seconds behind them. They just need a few more cars, but behind them, I don't think, if Ortega can catch them, they got about a 10, 15 car pack. If they can run them down, I just don't see them being able to run them down yet.
They're making up time, but it is not enough. I mean, it was 7/10 right there, but they're just going to run out of laps. That's the factor
Yeah,
of
if it's
it.
7/10, they would. If it's 7/10, they would be able to run down. They have enough laps, but they need to. If they can, they need to pick up the gap on the 5 car, which is going to be hard to do. They can't be running double file. That's their main thing. They cannot be running double file. They need to run single file. You got the LDR teammates through 4th, leading that line. They just need to get single file like they are, and they haven't been really able to gain up that much time on Dice yet. Matter of fact, Ortega is falling back from Dice about 6.4 seconds, but gains it back on the straightaway. If they can become a 15-car single car line, if they can hook up with Dice and all them, they only are going to have about 10 laps to do it, but they need to make sure they run them down now, or else this is just going to be a 10-man fight for the win up front in the lead pack.
Yeah, they just did not get the best sequence on pit road, I guess, that group back there, or maybe just problems in the pit stops, or maybe guys overshooting their box by just a little bit. It's that much that makes a difference, and they find themselves 10.2 seconds back at the line. This time it was a 50.395 for your race leader. For Reggie Ortega, 50.67, so actually 0.3 slower than the race leader, and that is not where they want to be in terms of lap time. They're going to have to work a lot harder to push forward here. It's going to be very aggressive, and they could find themselves causing the accident back there, which for some drivers might help, but for those involved,
In the front, they're not going to like it, but
They're
the
not.
guys up in the back in mid-pack are going to like it, and the guys that get involved are not going to like it. But
yeah.
up at the front right now, these guys, Noel and Cosman, they've been able to push, hook up, lock bumpers, and be able to gain up enough time to where they can kind of pull up. But as far as they've been able to pull up is where they are, about 3rd with Seth Hatchell. The Shenandoah Shine duo of Bradley Wilson and Joshua Abbey has been about unbeatable today.
Yeah, they have been so good up there in the front of this field. The VSPEED machines now all, 3 of them in a line, and then Dallas Sullivan breaking up the party right there. But they've done a good job to keep themselves up in the fight. Sometimes it's easy to lose that lead pack in the pit cycles like that, but they did a great job with Dallas and a few others who all worked together, and they got out, all right around each other and up here in the fight for the win. But really good consistent stuff from these guys up front. They've been up in the race, mixing it up all race long here.
Eric Hutton is cutting in about a half second this past lap. They've really been able to get some time here. Now I'm curious. They've got it down to about under 2 seconds now. With these guys starting to get more jumbled up and race side by side, Hutton is starting to cast him. If he can get about a second off those 2 cars running side by side, he will be able to catch the sniff of the draft and be able to pull up to these guys.
And that would shake things up. Yeah, that time, so it's 1.8 seconds up to Dennis Steele. That's not too bad. Yeah, they need about 1 more second, right? I think. Is that what you're...
A second, yeah. They are catching very quick. Emanuele is doing an amazing job of shoving the 88, but Emanuele is going to need that 1 and the 81 to be tucked up with them to make up the amount of time that they need to gain. They're about 1.56 seconds, but they lose time as they start breaking up. Emanuele needs to hope he doesn't blow up and just push the 88 up to the pack. They're only a second and a half behind. They have a shot to get there, and they got 15 laps to do it. 14 now at the line. This might be a 15-man car for the race. Wow, I can't speak. This might be a 15-man race for the win.
Yeah, that'll shake things up for sure, because these guys might have a huge run too. They might take it 3 wide. We don't know exactly when they'll get there, if they do get there. At this pace, though, I mean, they'll be right there.
Oh, no.
Now, let's see what the gap is this time. They lost a little bit of time right here, but they're 2 wide, up there in front. And Dennis Steele not able to really keep up with Ryan Gimmel right there in front of him. He's lost a car length or 2. Now pulls back up to his bumper. But they keep kind of, checking up a little bit up here in this lead pack. Guys just need to work really hard. They're losing time again. And the laps are going to start. Yeah, they're going to run out of time here.
They really need to start getting some time. I think the biggest thing is they need Dennis Steele to race side by side with Ryan Gimmel. They need Noel to kind of close up to about Chris Samard to stall these guys out enough for where Eric Hutton can get a big enough push from Emanuele. Right now, just at 2 seconds, now just under. They're trying to run these guys down. What Seth Noel and Cosman are able to do is going to dictate if this second pack can run them down. But up at the front, Noel is just not able to make up much time.
Yeah, those guys just not able to do anything. It's just, I think it's a matter of manpower up there on the top side. Only 3
they
cars.
Need 1 or 2 more cars is what they need. I think. I know the VSPEED guys are going to be working together. They're all in line. Can the Shenandoah Shine boys be ready to block the run? This is where the blocks are going to happen. Gimmel up to the outside now. He's going to cut in front of Noel. It's about to get racey up here. We're closing in on 10 to go here next time by, or 2 laps.
Yeah, so he is going to jump out of line from the inside, goes up to the top there, but there goes Luke Nupp, who'll drop down to the inside. So they gain one, but then they lose one up there. And it looks like Gimmel doing a good job, though. He's leading that group. And again, Gimmel looking for his first win since Season 2. We're on Season 5. He is going to be looking, he's going to be pushing hard here to get up there and get a win. He's been very consistent as well this season. One of those drivers who was at one point second or third in the standings.
Hatchell up to the outside. Now this is going to be the perfect opportunity for the second pack to catch. They're going to be running side by side. 11 laps to go. Hatchell's going to push from his teammate Ryan Gimmel. He's going to get next to the 99 of Joshua Abbey and might just clear him off of 2.
And big gain right there headed into turn 1. Eric Hutton gained 2/10. Now 3/10 on Dennis Steele out in front, and that time continues to click down. Yeah, 1.6 seconds the difference between those drivers, and that now drops to 1.5. It is just closing up fast.
Getting loose up there, twitching around. Noel now the top 2 becomes the VSPEED boys. Seth Hatcher to lead. Gimmel's building a run behind. Now Noel's going to stall at 99. The Shenandoah Shine boys getting put behind the 8 ball, as they say. They fall back to 3rd and 4th on the inside line. The racing picking up 10 laps to go at Talladega.
Still 1.7 seconds now, so Hutton lost all that time that he gained. Maybe he got a little bit loose off the nose of Timmy Emanuele, but they lost all the time that they just gained with the moves being made up in the lead pack. They've recovered up here, and it's going to take a big checkup for those guys to catch up at this point. It's not
It really
impossible if they can get really, really synced up, but it's going to be really tough.
Big problem here with those guys with what's happening here is Emanuele is probably shoving the heck out of Eric Hutton, but he's also getting that engine very, very hot. And that might be, he doesn't want to blow the engine up, especially this late into the race. You don't want to have that engine blow, but sometimes you just got to risk it to have any shot at the biscuit now these days.
That is for sure the case. And you got to think Timmy, also a driver who is not out of it.
Caution's out! Dennis Faircloth is in the wall!
Oh my goodness, another driver.
This changes everything.
Oh my goodness, and this is
Brendel! Almost upside down in the 34.
We go take a look here.
Oh
what
my
happened.
goodness. Oh boy.
So I think Brendel.
Oh, Vincent.
Back to the replay now. Let's take a look. TJ Brendel down there on the inside. A little contact with the 60.
Stanley, and then gets hit by the 3 and up the track. Hard hit. Dennis Faircloth, that is huge for points. Faircloth, who was about, let's take a look here, 19 points above the gap with heavy damage to the front end. No hood on that race car. That car is killed. And for everybody else, oh man, hard hit. Let's get on board with Dennis Faircloth and see what he said, or what happened in front of his view. See here, he's just running back, and this was very unexpected. This is for the 23rd position. These guys getting aggressive, I guess, trying to get as much spots as they can. Brendel just bounces off and up the track right in front of Faircloth. Nowhere to go. Look in that rear view camera. See the underneath, the flat underside of that 34 car, TJ Brendel. And now Luke Nupp is going to be the lucky dog. But now this race just went from a 10-man race to a 32-car race in a matter of one caution.
Oh my goodness.
The entire field is going to be put up on top of each other, and there's only going to be 6-7 laps to go.
And in other news, AJ Stravato has taken it behind the wall. Looks like Josiah Vincent, he'll bring it in. He got damage off of that incident there. Jeremiah Vincent also brings it down. Nick Starling gets caught back up because of this. Jordan Scheffler into his box. Some of these guys will have fresh tires, and that is going to be, maybe give them some freedom to make some moves. Yeah.
It might just give them enough, but now this is going to get wild. There's going to be 32 cars on the lead lap, and let me tell you, there is going to be nobody, and I mean nobody, that is not going to want to charge up into the lead and get to the front. But we've seen it before, the big one here at Talladega. It's infamous. There's been some hard wrecks here. Now the real question, we should have had it as a poll. What will the number of cars be in the big one is the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've got everybody in the field here. Probably, if we do get one, it's going to be 10 cars. But we may not get one. Sometimes there are those races, right? The way that these guys have been driving tonight, they've been very conservative. But, you know, they're going to get more aggressive. But I'm very impressed that we haven't had any more incidents. Just very, very small ones here. Just Stravato going around, and that time Brendel going around collecting Faircloth. But really only 3 cars so far caught up in anything tonight.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the way these guys have been all day, really. But man, these guys, I'm telling you, these guys are gonna. We think it's been aggressive at those with 15 to go. We just haven't seen what's gonna happen now. It is gonna get absolutely insane. There is gonna be nobody lifting for anybody. It is gonna be every man for himself. I'm gonna even assume that the teammate game is probably gonna get thrown out the window here. I don't see these guys backing down at all. And I'm telling you, I just, the way that how aggressive these guys have been, how twitchy these cars are, I'm going to be not in the least surprised if we see a big one here. And I can guarantee you that we are going to have 3 lanes here, maybe even 4.
Yeah, I think that may be the case. You've got room for it here. Might as well use it, as it is going to be the 2 VSPEED machines, and then you got the 2 Shenandoah Shine cars behind them. Then Seth Noel, Chris Samard, Cosman, Keith Mayato, Dallas Sullivan, and Dennis Steele making up the top 10. Really good run here for Dennis. We'll see if he can close it out here with the top 10 finish. We've got less than 10 laps to go. We haven't really taken any commercial breaks tonight, so let's hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the green flag.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every 3rd Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server and with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Back at the racetrack here, about to go green. It is teammates Seth Hatchell and Ryan Gimmel up there on the front row. It'll be Joshua Abbey and Bradley Wilson in row number 2. Then you've got Chris Samard, Seth Noel, Cosman, Mayato, Sullivan, and Steele, the top 10, as we are about to close things out here. Can they make it to the end under green flag in the air from Talladega?
We are going to have to find out. The 2 opposite teammates on each side. The top 2 leading the lines are teammates. A push from Bradley Wilson on the outside of Ryan Gimmel in the 6, and a push to the 8 car by the 99 of Abbey. They get disconnected, and off of turn 2, Gimmel's going to go to the front, And it's every man for himself, coming to 5 to go.
Yes, it is. There are some teammate pairings up here, but they're
But
kind
on
of
the
broken up.
bottom,
Oh, big move.
Wilson down to the inside.
Mayato makes the move down there as well. And here comes Chris Samard now going to try and give help to his teammate in the 6 machine. But we are far from over. Look at this view. Everybody in this picture racing for the win, except for actually everybody on track on the lead lap.
Yeah, what a block by Ryan Gimmel. Every single car is on the lead lap, battling for the win. 5 laps to go. Look at that, Ryan Gimmel out to the front. What will Bradley Wilson do? Right tucked up behind him, Dennis Steele, and Reggie Ortega making that 3rd line work.
And that is Zach Carr up there with him as well. Kenny Bishop, who needs a good finish. He's going to be pushing the issue up there. Nobody throws the block. Gimmel throws the block on his teammate Mayato. Both those drivers looking for their first victory of the season. And
man.
Mayato,
3 by 3.
Mayato
Gimmel.
almost pulled down in front of that was Bradley Wilson, but did not do so. But look at this, Timmy Emanuele leading that 3rd lane. A lot of cars up there.
A lot of cars. Samard giving a huge shove to the 36 4 wide. Dennis Steele, Zed Noel making it 4 wide. He jumps up to the top in front of Emanuele. VSPEED teammates battling for the win side by side. Top 4 of the top 5 are VSPEED teammates. Behind them, Seth Noel. They're going to go 4 wide behind them. Emanuele gets put 4 wide by Steele.
Oh my goodness, this is as tight as it gets. Still 4 wide contact.
Oh my gosh, Mayato gets blocked into the wall! Contact in front! Satchel gets turned! They spin and around they go! Sullivan into the outside wall! Big wreck in the front!
Huge wreck. What happened to start all that? I saw Mayato in the wall. We were looking at the 4 wide.
Vincent Smith is in it! Huge hit for the points. Bradley Wilson is turned around in the apron.
Oh my goodness, huge wreck at the back of the field. Baffert involved. That's going to be his shot at making the chase. Unfortunately for last week's winner, big hit right there for him. The back end missing off of that race car. What happened here with Mayato? Let's see where this all started. Mayato up front, racing alongside his teammate. The 6 machine gets put kind of shoved up
there. And then Mayato gets clipped by, oh wow, I think that was by Samard. And then they get clipped, and then behind them, everybody gets hit. And then Emanuele gets spun by Cosman. Cosman gets in it.
So Hatchell gets turned. What a save from him. But gets Bradley
Wilson got turned down to the inside.
Oh, and then
Timmy. And then behind them, I think the 99 Abby got in it. The Shenandoah Shine Boys both involved. And then up the track, Dallas Sullivan gets in to Dennis Steele. And then I believe Sullivan went upside down. Somebody started barrel rolling in the middle 3 and 4.
Find him here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Dallas, huge hit.
It's clipped by McGarvey, and then
that was Alan Dice.
Alan Dice cartwheeling in the middle of turn 3 and 4.
He was spinning like putting some spaghetti on your fork there, I guess. He's got the spaghetti on the race car. I know he's got a very unpopular opinion, and some drivers will be happy to see what just happened to Alan Dice. But that is a huge hit, huge like cartwheel there, as Josiah Vincent also involved. Josiah Abbey got a piece of it.
If I'm looking at points right now, huge hits for Jeremiah Vincent. Dallas Sullivan involved. Dennis Faircloth, who was involved in that last caution. Eric Hutton, who was involved in that. Ben Baffert, who was involved in that. Emanuele was involved. Guys, all at the points except the number 4 of Kenny Bishop, who is running in the 6th position, going into next week at Michigan, seeing all those guys wreck. If he can keep it clean up here, he should have a shot at making it in the chase.
Bradley Wilson, yeah, he got spun around there. He got collected. Cosman, good job.
Who was that? Josiah Vincent that went around? Yes, it was. He went up into the outside wall.
A lot of cars involved in this. I think that's at least 10, right? Probably 15.
Maybe more than 10. And looking at that, and after that happening, it's going to be a green-white checkered.
Oh, my goodness. And it's everything you could ask for from a super speedway race. It's coming down to the wire. Some hard blocks right there, or not really even a block. I think it was just a misaligned bumper there from Mayato and Samard. Really cost Mayato. I think he's got some right side damage now. Gimmel has some right side damage.
I mean, okay. I just need to point out, look at who's in third and fourth. We haven't talked about them all race.
Oh my
Zach
goodness.
Carr and Reggie Ortega are up in third and fourth. And then behind them, Kenny Bishop, who's in sixth. Seth Hatchell's still in it, but he's got some damage. Mayato, Cosman's still in it. Luke Nupp is back up to ninth after getting the lucky dog to the previous caution. And then behind Jeremy Stanley, Abby, Atkins, Nick Starling's up inside the top 15. The pole sitters inside the top 15.
My goodness. I cannot believe that, actually. You point out Zach Carr up there. He started 29th. Reggie Ortega started 31st. And they're up here going to be fighting for the win. I think we'll get the one to go.
Talladega for you.
Anything can happen, and it can happen in an instant. And you can make up so much time so quickly here. And Gimmel, he's got that damage on the right side now. He'll have the race lead. He'll have control, but he's got no teammates until you get back to Chris Samard in fifth. It'll be 2 lanes behind him.
Believe it or not, seeing in the chat, people asking about the green-white checkered. This will be the first of 3 attempts. There are still 3 attempts, including this one, but there are still 2. If we get another caution, there will be 2 more attempts at a green-white checkered. And after that, we will either finish under caution, but of normal green flag rules, we either do the next one, or we'll be making it to the white flag, and that'll do it. And the race will go green from there.
You know, Gimmel is so hungry for that race win. We've talked about it. I've talked about it over the last few weeks where he's had opportunities. He's run well, really all season. Has had some mistakes, some bad luck, and just has not been able to find victory lane. But he is knocking on the door. And how much of a confidence boost would this be? At one of his best tracks to take the victory and then ride into the chase, confidently with that win.
Yes, it is. You never know. It's all about confidence going into the chase, and why not have some going into the chase? Because you know what, confidence is the best thing you could have for fighting for a championship here. And looking at this pack, it went from about 32 cars that could win this race to maybe about 18.
Yeah, and there's some guys still in this thing. Eric Lambert, Nick Starling, Kenny Bishop, Jeremy Stanley, all those guys, they still have good, clean race cars. The thing is, do they have enough time to get up there? They're pretty far back. But you can make up a lot of spots, and we've seen last lap crashes that led to drivers like Nick Gardner or Nick Starling getting the win at a place like this. So
no matter where you are not safe. You could be leading this race off of turn 4 and finish 25th. So
just like Seth Hatchell here, got turned out of turn number 4, ended up losing that race. It'll be Ryan Gimmel leading us back to the green flag here for our first green-white checkered attempt. He'll have Seth Noel, who's been up front all race long, and then the LDR machines right there. Reggie Ortega and Zach Carr side by side. Then Chris Samard, Kenny Bishop, Hatchell, Mayato, Cosman, and Luke Nupp. Green flag back in the air. We're going overtime racing from Talladega. And let's see if that damage affects the 6 machine, as he has the number 2 all over his bumper. Going to push him down into turn number 1, but the 29 dead even with him.
And look at that 27 all tucked up. Look at these guys bouncing off each other down on the inside. Bumper to bumper, lined up 5, 6, 7, 8 rows deep. And down the backstretch, Seth Noel's able to clear. A push from Zach Carr in the 27. 3 wide. It looks like Ortega's going to send it 3 wide in the middle. And he's going to fall down to the back.
And that is going to shake things up. It's now single file.
Shepler saves it behind the 6, has damage.
Oh,
holding up the inside.
contact
the
Gimmel.
Gimmel spins at the racetrack. Rodas is in it. The 40. Starling's in it. Hatchell's in it. Another wreck. Wilson's in it.
Oh, Angelo.
Oh. Back up the track. Gimmel spins again. And the 8 is around as well. And we will go into the second attempt at a green-white checkered. And your leader, Seth Noel, Kenny Bishop in second.
Taking a look here at what happened. It was 3 wide there. Reggie Ortega in the middle. Tries to get alongside Gimmel, I think. Maybe a little a little net code.
And then into Samard, and Samard spins the 6 into
Oh.
Starling, into Ronis.
Oh!
I did not see the 6 go upside down. I think he got hit by Timmy. Is that Timmy Emanuele in the 39?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
oh.
Catapulted. We saw Robert Gilmore get turned around here. Also, the 98 of Bradley Wilson, who's been up front all race long. But
Got in that
unfortunate there
squeeze
for.
against the wall.
They should be able to continue in both those race cars, but heavy damage. Angelo took a huge shot right here. I don't know what happened. He got turned once, and then Hatchell let off the brakes, and bam! Huge hit.
Another multi-car incident, and you can see Hatchell spinning it around to avoid. But wow, another crazy restart.
Hatchell had it missed until Starling went around there, and then oh man, big hit, and then see what happened with Nick here. He got into Angelo and then just couldn't hang on to it. Once that car is past a certain point, these next gen cars are almost impossible, it seems, to save. They're gonna maybe have to see some pit stops from drivers potentially. We don't know if they can make it on fuel.
I think they can. I'm not really sure. I'd be surprised of what we might see. I'm not really sure.
I mean, they've gone over 30 laps now. Many of these drivers, some of them have pit, like Luke Knupp. He pit 11 laps ago. He should be pretty much full on fuel.
He was the lucky dog, the one that led up to the first attempt.
Yeah.
Or the first attempt of a 5-lap shootout, and he was the first one, I believe, a lap down. So he got the lucky dog. He probably got a fresh set of good ears and topped off on fuel. Make sure that he will definitely not going to have to worry about fuel in case of a green-white checkered. So, yeah.
Things are still probably going to get mixed up even more, but how about these top 3? Seth Noel, Kenny Bishop, Zach Carr. Seth Noel's been up here all race long. Kenny Bishop's been around the top 10 for a lot of this race. Then Zach Carr, seemingly nowhere, finds his way to the front when he needs to, and so impressive from him at week after week, just knocking on the door. And now the window's open for him to take the points lead, as Hatchell was involved in that.
Who knows, man? This has been absolutely insane. Good for AJ Stravado and having Hatchell get involved in that wreck. That's going to help AJ Stravado be able to probably keep the points lead. Obviously, Hatchell looked like he was going to maybe take the points lead with the way things were shaking out with 10 laps to go. And now that's completely flipped upside down, as now Zach Carr might be able to take the points lead, who's only 25 points ahead. This one, he should be, if he were able to finish in third or maybe even win the race, he'd have probably a double-digit lead going into Michigan. And he'll definitely have a double-digit lead over Seth Hatchell as well. But AJ Stravado being the first car out of the race and finishing dead last, he's going to be in a very peculiar spot. What he's going to need Zach Carr not to finish up there, and Seth Hatchell finish around where he is. And I think that'll probably get us close to a 3-way tie. We'll definitely have all 3 of them within about 10 points of each other going into Michigan.
Yeah, Hatchell is going to be about, as he rides right now, he'd gain about 16 points. So I don't know exactly. I think he was 26 or 27 out, maybe a little more than that coming in. But he would cut that in about half, and that's huge. I mean, that gives him at least a shot going in next week if Stravado has any further trouble. But he's got to make it through the end of this one as well. So does Zach Carr. And what AJ Stravado is hoping for is that both of those guys get knocked out of this race, before they can complete it. But right now it is. Yeah. Zach Carr is in a pretty good spot. As long as he can finish top 5, that'll shake things up.
And it makes me wonder, what if AJ Stravado stayed in his car and maybe didn't disconnect and could be running inside the top 20 or so, with obviously all the cars that have been involved in wrecks. So I'm actually curious to see.
Possibly lost the engine, but
that could be another thing as well. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but. Man, looking at what I'm seeing up here, 4 different teams inside the top 5. Your pole sitter, Eric Lambert, is in 7th. Luke Knupp in 8th. Reggie Ortega 9th. Eric Hutton in 10th. All guys that haven't won this year, all guys in this top 10 have not won this year, except the 27 of Zach Carr. One of the big 3 that we've been talking about all year. Can he bring it home? A win, I believe this would be his 4th win of the season, tying AJ Stravado in wins this year. I don't know. This is going to come down to the wire.
And that just shows how close they've been on performance. That if Zach, really, Zach has had just a couple bad races, and otherwise he would be right up there with AJ already in the points. And this one could be the equalizing race. AJ, of course, this is going to be his worst finish of the season by a huge margin. I mean, he was averaging like a 3.5 place, finish this season.
Insane.
So it's going to be a big hit for him here, and we'll see what he can do to hang on or maybe win that championship next week. But
talking about points. Kenny Bishop in 2nd. This could be a big day for him.
Yeah, he could find victory lane and find his way into the top 12 before the regular season finale. As we are going to be waiting on Seth Noel with control of this restart. Cosman back there behind the 27. Good jump for the inside lane. They go a little earlier than expected, but off and away. Kenny Bishop kind of left hanging up there in the top side. He'll drop down to the bottom.
They get pretty single filed out. Look at Zach Carr just tucked up under that 29 car, able to pull away from the 48, but Kenny Bishop in line with the 36. Then behind them side by side, Atkins, Lambert, and Knupp. There goes Bishop up to the outside. No help. The top 3 stay in line, single file.
Yeah, here comes Knupp, and that is also Cody Adkins. What about Cody Adkins? Could he get his first career win? Throws a block on Luke Knupp, though. That's going to slow them.
They can't go 3 wide. It's going to stall them out. Ortega's now going to slot in behind the 19 and up at the front. Zach Carr, does he have the slingshot engaged? Come into the white flag, into the restart zone. Lambert up to the outside. White flag displayed. 1 lap to go at Talladega.
Lambert's got to try. Here goes Mayato. Going to jump to the top side. This could be just what Zach Carr needs, though, and now they go 3.
3 wide. It's going to be a 2-horse fight. If they can't, they need to get single filed back out.
And Reggie Ortega a little bit off center on Mayato. And look at
them.
Oh,
they crash.
Bishop
gets
or
turned.
Jeremy Stanley and Hutton.
Stanley gets turned as well. The top 2 breaking away. What will Zach Carr do? When does he make the move? Tucked up behind.
They're a second ahead through 3 and 4. It's Seth Noel. It's Zach Carr. Can Seth Noel win in his debut? It's a long ways back to the start-finish line. It's not Daytona. They've got that extra straight.
Out to the inside.
Big.
He looks back high. Is it going to be enough? Noel under the white line. A side draft from the 27. Chases up the outside.
Zach Carr.
Zach Carr.
He played it perfectly. He pushed the 29 down there. Actually, I think Seth just went down there on his own. And the 27 of Zach Carr for his 4th win of the season. A photo finish here at Talladega. Wow. They were so far ahead at 1.4 seconds. How about Eric Lambert finishing in third?
A huge point stay for Eric Lambert.
It's massive. It's exactly what he needed, keeping his chase hopes alive as Zach Carr takes the win. Let's go take a look back at that. See that finish coming to the line here. It was Zach Carr right behind Seth Noel. Noel with his season debut here. Great run from him all race long. Racing towards the stripe. Just out in front. And that is the difference. Able to clear him entirely, and Zach Carr takes the win.
What a great move by Zach Carr. Getting up, knowing what he's going to need to do to side draft the 29 and pulling him back and being able to come up to the outside and being able to get away from him and bring it home a winner. His 4th win of the season, leads 1 lap in this entire race and leads the most important one.
That is for sure.
Burn it down.
He is going to burn it down here at Talladega. Congrats again to Zach Carr, the Creative Hemp Machine, going to victory lane here tonight. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to interview the top 3. All right, back at the racetrack now. We're going to be pulling in our third place finisher tonight. That is Eric Lambert. What a performance from him here at Talladega. Started on the pole and comes home in the third place. His best finish, I believe, ever in the league. Eric Lambert, Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, almost a dream night for you here. You start on the pole, you come home on the podium. You finally survive one of these things, man. And I know you've been waiting for this moment. And really clutch performance too, with the way the points are, and headed into the final race of the regular season.
Yeah, I definitely needed this one. A couple more spots would have been nice, but I'll take the podium. This match is my best finish in this league.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is. I said it was your best finish. I figured, I think you finished on the podium a couple seasons back, but
At Dega.
yeah. So you got this place figured out. Obviously, the pole gets you that extra bonus point, so that's nice. But still work to be done next week at Michigan. How do you feel about going out there?
My teammate Happy. I'm not a big fan of Michigan, but I do have a couple wins there, and the Xfinity car and the truck, and I tend to run there or decent there in the old Cup car. So I'm kind of eager to see what this is gonna do, because I really like the way these cars handle. So
Yeah, I think you ran pretty well at Auto Club. We were talking about it the other day, and just really impressive performance from here. You kept the car clean. I don't think you have any speck of damage on that thing, and really nice looking paint scheme there done by your teammate Dennis. And man, up on the podium. How about it? Anybody want to give a shout out to for tonight's finish?
yes, sir. First and foremost, my teammates Robert Gilmore, aka the Happy Man, Dennis Faircloth, and Kyle and Kevin McGarvey. We got together last night, and we practiced what we ran today. We all tried to stay nose to tail. You guys for putting on the broadcast. Y'all do a great show. My Simulators Anonymous guys here in chat. And then last but not least, my two lovely kids, Hunter and Ella. I love you too. And y'all will see Daddy here soon.
Awesome, Eric. Well, congrats again, man. Good to see you up here. Good to see you get one of these deserved finishes at these super speedways. I know you've been looking for one for a while. So go celebrate with the Simulators Anonymous boys, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a great night.
You.
Congrats, Eric.
That is Eric Lambert coming home P3. We're going to go to rookie to the series, Seth Noel. And Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am Seth Noel, Alec Martinez, and Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
All right, Alec. Come on now. Say my name right. Say it right.
Seth Noel. My bad.
Thank
I forgot.
you.
I forgot. No, thank you. Season debut, man. You bring it home second in a photo finish to Zach Carr. We saw him two-car tandem. Looked like a bit of a 2011 finish with Boyer and Burton, but you come up on the wrong end of the stick there. What did you need to do to close it out and get a debut win?
I just got to get better.
Got to get
Plain
better.
and simple.
Plain and simple. Yeah. Do you think if you maybe could? Do you think you could have blocked him? I know you went up high to block, went back low. Did you think you had any shot of maybe being able to door him or try to beat him to the line?
No. Once he caught my right rear on the side draft, I was out. That was it. I was trying to wiggle off forward, just trying to get him to bounce off and have some sort of netcode lag back so he wouldn't have a run, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, man. Well, I know it's a disappointing. Are we gonna see you next week? It's the longest race of the year. It's at Michigan. Do we expect to see you there?
Maybe.
Maybe. Wow.
Not a yes, not a no.
Not a yes, not a no. I'm glad it's a maybe. So, how do you feel going out there if you do show up?
I have no idea how that car drives there, so I have no idea.
Heck yeah, man. Love going in there blind. Try to get another win. Maybe come back with the win for a little bit of redemption.
Hey, maybe.
Heck yeah, man. Well, and before we let you go, anybody want to give a shout out to?
The big sponsor on my car is Nexus. We were working together, so shout out to Nexus. Cosman helped me a lot that race. Shout out to Zach. Good push on the last restart. Got us 1-2. Disappointed with second, but we got 1-2.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate the broadcast. That's it.
Thank you, man. Well, we'll let you go celebrate your second place finish, man. Have a good night.
All right, I'll grab some cheesecake.
Ah, that sounds pretty good, man. All right.
All right,
All
second place finisher, Seth Knoll. Okay, I'll remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before.
I forgot about that, honestly, and he was my teammate for about a year or two, and I just totally forgot. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
well, looks a little worse on you than it does on me.
Yeah,
I'm okay
it
with
does.
that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pull in our race winner here who led only one lap and realistically only led about a half straightaway. Zach Carr, Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
Oh, I got a copy.
Oh, man, I'm sure this is as satisfying as they come, man. You ran in the back all race long. You find your way up to the front, and your fourth win of the season. You get it done in dramatic fashion here tonight.
Yeah, honestly, me and the LDR boys, we had a plan today to stick together because usually teams is a big play here. So we had a plan at the beginning of the race to stick together and kind of just keep it clean. So we try to stay in line at the back of the lead draft, but then after some unfortunate things, we kind of lost that lead draft. So it was unfortunate. And then Ben accidentally turned AJ. They're trying to make up what we lost, and that's going to happen sometimes when you're trying to panic and get back up to where you were. So unfortunate for AJ, horrible night for him, but he'll regroup next week. But like I said, the whole race we just worked together, and then finally there towards the end when we got that late caution to get us all back up in there, me, Reggie, and Angelo were still alive. I think Ben might even been alive at that point too, and all we could do from there is just try to take whatever openings we had, because if we just sat back there with 7 to go, we weren't going to go forward. So I was following Reggie. I told him to take whatever holes we could take, and I think at one point we were 5 wide entering 3 when the wreck happened, and somehow we got through there, and then the wreck after that. But I'm glad that Seth raced me clean. It's great to have him here. I'm glad to have a good finish, and honestly, I don't usually win at Talladega or even have good races at Talladega, so coming out of here with a win is very surprising, and it feels great.
Yeah, and you came into this race second in points behind your teammate AJ Stravato, and the gap was about 25 points, and you made up that and then some with the win here. So you should be heading into next week with the points lead. How do you feel about going out to Michigan with probably an 8 to 10 point lead?
Yeah, we were just talking down in the waiting room. Honestly, Michigan, it's my home track, but it's not my best one. I had a good result on VSPEED After Dark with the street stocks. That's gonna be a whole different beast next week compared to that. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be a draft race by any means. At least I hope not. Hopefully they fixed it since Auto Club. So if it's not, well, I expect a top 5 run for sure. But if it's a draft race, then well, it's gonna probably be like tonight, and just hope to survive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting one, the longest race of the season. So excited to see what you can do out there if you can capitalize on the win tonight and the misfortune from the 33 and get a regular season championship. It'd be 2 seasons in a row for you to capture that. But man, 4th win of the season. You lead only the last lap there. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the win?
League owners for putting this on, sponsors for the league, you guys that broadcast, we couldn't do it without you guys. Obviously my team, for working together and everything. We're a great team. We all get along over there. So LDR boys, another solid job tonight. I got to thank Creative Hemp for being on the car as always. I mentioned last week. I think I got it working for you guys this week. So
yep.
Great to have them on board. I think the car looks great out there. Also for Angelo, we got the new rebranded Bernie Breakdown on his car this week. That thing looked very good out there. So unfortunate it didn't work for him tonight, but hopefully we'll see that Bernie Breakdown car in Victory Lane as well.
Yeah, he had a couple hard hits out there, but great looking cars on the racetrack here for you, Zach. And congrats on the race win, and hopefully we see you here in VSPEED After Dark in a few moments.
I might. We'll see.
All right, it's a road race. You should be pretty good at that if you do show up. But congrats again, man. Catch you
thanks, guys.
Next time.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Congrats.
Zach Carr, the race winner here tonight. Dramatic fashion, captures it over Seth Knoll in Seth's first career race in the league. So very impressive performance from him. Well, let's go through the rest of the results in tonight's race. 4 cautions, 19 lead changes. So pretty competitive. Zach Carr makes that final lead change in the final stretch to take the victory here tonight. Seth Knoll will come home in the 2nd position. Eric Lambert, very impressive night from him. He finishes in 3rd. Cody Adkins, also some good points here for him, finishes 4th. Luke Nupp comes home in the 5th position. Cosman able to finish in the 6th spot. Kenny Bishop 7th, so he was able to recover quite a bit after some incidents. Reggie Ortega finishes 8th. Keith Mayato 9th, and Kevin McGarvey rounds out the top 10.
Then in 11th, under a strong race tonight, Joshua Abbey brings it home in 11th. Robert Gilmore, 12th. Jordan Shepperler, 13th. Chris Samard, 14th. Dennis Steele, 15th. Dennis Faircloth, 16th. Nick Starling, 17th. Seth Hatchell, 18th. 19th, Jeremy Stanley. And 20th, Dallas Sullivan.
21st tonight was Eric Hutton. 22nd, Timmy Emanuele. 23rd, Ryan Gimmel. 24th, Jeremiah Vincent going to be a big hit for him. Ben Bafford 25th. Bradley Wilson 26th. Angelo Veronis 27th. Kyle McGarvey 28th. 29th Zach Smith. And rounding out the top 30 was Josiah Vincent 31st. Alan Dice 32nd. TJ Brendel. And last place big hit tonight, AJ Stravato finishes in the 33rd position. Man, what a race. Very crazy. A lot of twists and turns. And not a new winner, but a guy taking advantage, making the right move at the right time. And another great performance from Zach Carr. So, yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's race. Any thoughts, Alec, I guess, before we head out?
Yeah, I mean, what a race. A great race. Comers and goers throughout the entire race. I mean, we saw the Shenandoah Shine boys, the VSPEED guys. These guys just doing a great race overall as well. I mean, what a move again. Hats off to Zach Carr. For pulling that move, and then Seth Noel, obviously in his first race ever, bringing home a top three and getting second in his first race. And Seth's a great driver, and I expect him, if he shows up, to run up front again. And again, great racing by all. Hope all the fans enjoyed it. Looking forward to VSPEED After Dark. That's going to be starting here very soon, and I'll even post that in the description. Just copy paste that on your phone, iPad, computer, whatever. Put that into your browser link and then look it up, and then we'll be starting the broadcast here in about 10 or 20 so minutes, I would say. And then, yeah, we'll go on to Michigan next week. It's going to be a long race, and then that one's going to be crazy. Regular season championship, the chase, everything's it's coming down to an end in the regular season.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty tight amongst the top three. I think probably about 15 or 20 points separating those three drivers headed into that one. So still fair game amongst those three. Other drivers taking some big hits tonight, going to have to really have a strong performance next week to make it into that top 12. So going to really be interesting to see how the points shake out. I'm excited for it and excited for VSPEED After Dark as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in here tonight for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series presented by Martin Sports. Do want to thank them and all the other sponsors that make this happen. Hope you enjoyed the race. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe right here on YouTube, and check us out on Twitch at VSPEED Sim coming up here in just a few moments. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.